all continue to flow in. And so I know there's a lot of people on here who have actually been making eSuite sing. And so I really want to talk about what's working, strategy wise, like what are you doing? Is there something different you're doing? Like what is working? And so I'll share what's working for me. My engagement had actually went down, like way down. And one of the things that is like my secret sauce, or how I really um actually close people, is my lives. But my lives were not getting a lot of engagement. And so as a leadership team, we are reading this book um called Four, and it was talking about engagement, and really being for the customer, and really, wanting to provide some actual, something insightful, just really giving, and doing things to give and not really to receive. And so, one of the things that I do not do intentionally is engage. Like I do engage, but it's not intentional. And so if it's not, by chance that I'm in a position to engage and I'm not engaging. And so one of the things that I've started to do is actually take some time out to actually engage with my potentials and people on my timeline. And so for a while, I was not messaging from my timeline because I had to get my scrolling under control. And so I wouldn't message from my timeline at all. But now that I am like scrolling is not, I mean, of course we do, nobody's perfect, but scrolling is not a big problem for me now. And so now I have started to message from my timeline. And before I can send anybody a message, I have to engage on their page, or I have to engage on a post or something like that, a picture. And so my views on my lives have actually started to go up here within the last week from just doing that, and taking that intentional time to actually connect with my followers, because we turn our networks over so much. And so whereas I had maybe my 1,000 friends and my 1,000 fans in the past that would just watch my lives, I've overturned my network. And so I have to continue to create those relationships and create that actual engagement between, and that bond between me and my customers, and so, or my potential customers. And so that's one thing that I've been doing. Another thing that I've been doing is parties every single week for my squad, and that has been something that has just helped the organization across the board. And so if you're somebody who's like, well, I don't really have a team, but you have a new distributor, then it's launch parties, it's messenger parties for yourself. So partying, in any way I can, whether it's I haven't started going back into the living rooms, but that's not to say that I won't. But right now, I'm partying in any way that I can. And that is definitely something that's just been helping my team across the board. And so that is what's been working for me. Of course, host the post. But at one point, that was even or last month was not a good host post month for myself. And so even with that, not getting discouraged, like continuing to pivot, continuing to be solution focused. And it's like, okay, so the host to post that I'm posting on my page are not popping. So that means, I need to continue to get in the inbox. Anybody that says yes from my page to put a post, they need a partner to post a post. So just staying in a place of, okay, what can I do with what I have to get what it is that I need? And so that's what's been working for me. So I want everybody to share what's been working, what's been getting your eSuite action. And if you ain't getting eSuite action, unmute and ask questions so we can help.
Good morning. You guys excuse my screen off. I'm nursing. The first thing is the simplicity. I know we keep talking about it all the time, but there's something about that tracker and just being so clear with what I need. I think that's the first thing for me. Just like this like going into the day with like this clarity of what you need. It's like it's just something about it. I'm not just out here just working for the fun of it, or I don't know where I'm going. Like to know where you're going is so refreshing, right? Just to know where you're going. It gives you a reason to celebrate along the journey. But what's been working for me is for sure Being okay with talking about that one product to get people in the door. But once I get them on the phone, slowing the conversation down. So we may only be talking about gummies in the inbox, and that's almost like again, it gets them in the door. But once I get them on the phone, asking questions, and sometimes the same questions that are already provided in the boards, I still can use the boards as a resource. I'm only using my mouth instead of my fingers. So asking more questions once I get on the phone, and once I ask more questions, that creates a need. And then I begin to suggest, well, let me tell you, to be honest, I do think the gummies will be good for you, but you also want to lose weight. So because I want you to get results, that's my main question. I ask a lot of questions because I want to make sure I'm not just giving you a product, just selling you a product. I want to get you a system that's really going to work. I say that to each person. I ask a lot of questions because I really want to help you. And when I ask the question, I always position the question to know that I can answer with the product. And so that's helped me a lot. I use one product to get them in the door because I'm not overwhelming them with information unless I just kind of read the room and know, okay, this conversation is probably going to be text. But for the most part, one product gets me on the phone with them and going from there. Also opening myself up to helping men. I know that seems weird, right? Something we should have been doing, but open myself up to help men as well. So you can think about that when it comes to engagement, but they got, some weight, they just don't talk about it like like we women do. They trying to get rid of that weight too. And so helping more men, but that's been the biggest thing is using the tracker every single day and getting on the phone and slowing the conversation down. Understanding that the shopping cart was developed for me as a tool for my business, not my business, right? It does not replace what I can give to a person. And so I can give so much more than the shopping cart. If they do want a shopping cart and they don't want me to do it, I'm gonna send you the shopping cart while we're on the phone. It's still like we're on the phone. And so that one thing has been really helpful. The messenger party with my new distributors has been amazing. I know it's being developed in our boards, but just it's been so good. It does remind me of being in the living room because it is so intimate. And so that messenger party is so good. It's really just a really amazing idea. And so I've only done launched 2 people with the messenger party, and they both have gotten their 4 from that space. And so those are the things that have been working for me so far. It's just getting people on the phone and slowing down and asking questions so I can get them more than one product, which helps with our relationship too, the loyal customer.
Yes,
I'll
Keisha.
jump in and piggyback
Okay,
on Keisha. Getting them on the phone is key. The texting back and forth, that works, but to get them on the phone to actually understand what their goals are. Because like she said, you might get them with the gummy post, with the $40 post or whatever, but getting them on the phone and really having a sincere conversation. Like I had a conversation this morning with a young lady who came in for the $40, and I asked her, I said, so what's your goal? Like, is it the 30 pounds or do you want to lose more? And she said, yeah, it's more like 40, 50. And I was like, to be honest, the gummies alone is not going to get you where you want to see based on the conversation. I said, if you can stretch your goal to any capacity this month, let's jumpstart you. And then we'll, if you need to, if your budget needs to, make some adjustments, we can do that. But to get you going, this is what I suggest. And this is what I know is really going to help you get to where you want to get to. So just having those conversations on the phone is better than in the text message anyway, through Messenger. And if they're not comfortable with, or you don't know if they're comfortable with giving you their number, call them through Messenger. Like there's a feature you can actually call them through Messenger, and you can do a video chat too if they want to see your face. If it's somebody that's brand new, do a video chat. But just be the subject matter expert. We used to call them SMEs at work. Be the person that tells them like, this is going to work well with this product. Like the gummies work well with the ThermoFight X. The gummies work well with Cleanse. All of our products work well together. So you need more than one, and let them know like gummies, you could take 4 a day. So you need 2 bottles. And then if you're getting 2 bottles, you might as well add the ThermoFight X in and get the slimming system and save money and maximize on your results. So really just being sincere about getting them some results is going to be key. That helped me so much with my converting my post for the $40 and for May or whatever, to getting them on the slimming system. So they all came in just wanting that one thing or that $40, but all getting the slimming system because I told them the benefits of having the more. So I'm gonna say.
Robin, I'll say this one thing off of what you said, and this reminds me of something. Like, if you go to a Bentley dealership, most of the people there who sell the Bentley can't afford the Bentley. And the reason why I say that, and I'm not saying you guys can't afford stuff, what I'm saying is don't suggest from your pocket. There's somebody who's willing to pay to buy $300, $400 worth of product. And sometimes we suggest in fear, like, man, I'm not willing to spend $300 today on product, but that doesn't mean the person that you're speaking with. They may be at a place where their doctor told them, hey, you have to lose 50 pounds or XYZ. And you get that type of ultimatum, you're willing to give what you got, or you don't know where their confidence is at that moment. You don't know, they've got to have a sparkly, brand new American Express. They've been waiting to put some miles on. You know what I mean? You just never know. And so don't suggest from your bank account. Suggest what works and let them decide if it's something that they can afford, not you.
Yes, absolutely. I like getting them on the phone too, because I set up their 3-month plan while we're on the phone. So it's like, and then based off the questions that they answer or how they answer the questions in their goals, like you can have that conversation like, okay, the loyal customer program does say, at least a minimum of 3 months, but this goal right here, like, are you willing to commit 6 months to a year to actually truly reach the goal and have, get what you desire? That creates longevity, that creates the residual, that creates that trusting relationship. And like that Robin and Keisha was saying, like really, really wanting to help the customer get results, really being for the customer, not being for you and for the sale, being for them and their results. And so, yeah, like the phone conversation is lit. Like I love the card, like Keisha said, in case of, they don't want to give me their information, or, they're not in a position to get on the phone right now. But if I can get them on the phone, I can get them on the phone. I want to get them on the phone. And I had a question in here. Do we stay on the phone until their order goes through? Yeah, if they allow me to stay on the phone with them, I am. And I don't send them to, I don't send people to my website either, because I'm the expert. Like Robin was saying, they don't know what works well together. I do. So I want to get you on the phone. I want to know what goals you have, and I want to tell you what products pair better together. And how do you get the confidence in the products? By using them. So that goes back to what we've been talking about the auto ship. Yes, you need to run your auto ship to go to Punta Cana, but you need to run your auto ship so you can really be the expert. So you can really have the confidence when it comes to recommending these products. When you're telling people that they're going to get results, that you believe it, because if you don't believe it, why would they believe it? Like, why would they believe you if you don't believe you? And so using the products is what's going to give you that confidence to get on the phone, recommend, do the upsell, ask the questions, and really actually lead the person in the direction to get the results that they desire. So yes. Who else got something they've been doing?
All right. Before the next person goes, what we do is normally it's not about what you're doing. It's about you per se. Even going back to the Eric Thomas that we were listening to, it's the mental. So what we're doing is, I love it, but at the end of the day, like, maybe you guys could talk about the vigor behind what you're doing, because there's a desire behind why you're doing what you're doing. Why Robin, Brittany, Keisha have decided to take it to the next level and stop lollipopping and just send the card and pray to God that it checks out. So talk about that instead of what you're doing, because they can attempt it, but the desire behind it is really what's getting you the customer. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, it's the desire, because they could be like, well, I could try that. But until they hungry, they're not going to go the extra mile. They'll only go to a certain point, but it gets to a certain point where you're hungry enough to where you do whatever. So, I mean, at the end of the day, y'all can tell me what y'all doing, but that might not work for me. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get them to the end. So like Robin said, she calling in Messenger. That's what she had to do. At this point, I ain't asking for numbers no more. You ready? I'm calling, period. But that's just hunger. Y'all get what I'm saying? So it's not about, okay, call them in Messenger. Let's click this. This is what I'm doing next. No, it's you hungry and you're going to do whatever it takes to get the customer in the system. So the real question is, are you hungry enough? So y'all talk about y'all hunger, not what you're doing. Because it ain't about what you're doing. It is about the hunger behind what you're doing and your real why. It's the why. It's the real why. Because, I mean, ultimately, Punta Cana may inspire somebody because they ain't been on no trips. You know what I'm saying? So they may be like, yes, Punta Cana, I run my auto ship for Punta Cana. Yes, the beach, the sand in my toes. Okay? Like, that may be one person. But one person may be like, my lights, boo, my lights. I need this money by next Friday. So it's the vigor behind it. It's not, because, I mean, at the end of the day, I will forget everything y'all said when I get off the Zoom. I ain't gonna lie. But I won't forget that I'm thirsty and hungry. And so now I remember what she said because I want to get this sale today. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to put some emotion and energy behind it, because if not, we're going to get off here and it's going to be like, all right, well, you know, that was real nice for them. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad it's working for them, but, you know, pray to the Lord, Lord, touch me. So when I call this person in Messenger today, they answer. And then when they don't answer, Lord, maybe it's not for me, and I try again next week. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get hungry up in this piece. And I need to understand your hunger, because when I understand your hunger, it pushes me to understand and actually look at my hunger and be okay with my hunger. You know what I'm saying? So let's switch it to that part of it, because ultimately I'm looking at these people, I'm like, all right, they just listening to y'all. And it's like, oh, okay, that's nice, you know, a little Q&A, get the, okay, yeah, welcome, like little tips, but that ain't gonna get them off here like, let's go. And that's what I need y'all to be at. That's where we at. That's what we're doing on Monday. Okay, we get to do our own business meeting. So let's go. I'm trying to get off here like, I'm signing 10 today. Okay, and that's why I need y'all to walk off here feeling like, okay. Don't laugh at me. Now who next? Thank you, Brittany.
I didn't want to go next, but I was about to unmute before Rachel unmuted, but it was confirmation. So I'm gonna just go, okay? But so yeah, so because Brittany has said, if your E-Suite, you know, not singing, what questions do you have? But I realized like this past couple days, about 72 hours or so, that I was acting out of desperation instead of out of hunger. Because my E-Suite, the throat been dry. The E-Suite throat been dry. Okay, it's just like, it's been nothing. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing, Jesus. Let me take that back. But I was realizing that I was allowing outside things to affect how I work my business, and I was really paying attention to different components of non-negotiables that I was not doing. Like, I knew what I was not doing, like SD trash, PD trash. Like, I wasn't doing the things, and I was working out of desperation. Like, it's end of the month. Why am I sitting here just, you know, going through stuff instead of just doing the regular follow-ups and then not being able to see, you know, my fruits growing, because I wasn't doing the basic things. So I took the last couple of days to just really, you know, reevaluate and get my mental in order, so then I could be able to do what it is that I need to do. So now I'm understanding working out of hunger instead of desperation. Like, there are things that I've put in plain sight that I need. Like, I need this to work because I need this. Like, yeah, you know, Punta Cana, I'm going. Like, period, I'm going. But before Punta Cana, I need the money. I need the check, because I got stuff that I need to do, you know? So that's where my mindset is now. It's shifting because I'm hungry. I'm starving, actually.
Okay, so I'll go. And again, kind of going back to what Rachel said, it is finding that hunger within you, right? Like, because I didn't like the way, when I was getting my deposits, I didn't like the way the deposits looked. I said that I came here to do one thing, and what I was doing, it was happening, but the abundance was not there. So that became a problem where it's like, okay, I need to, one, I put the bonus, I labeled my bonuses, right? Like, so it's not just a bonus. It's not a, oh, it would be nice. It's a, no, I need to get this because this bonus covers this. And if this bonus don't cover this, then I don't know where else it's coming from. So at the end of the day, I need for this bonus to cover, I need for this bonus to pay off tuition at the end of the year. So that can be behind me. I need for this bonus to cover spring break because we're taking our kids to spring break, but we don't have extra because we're sending a kid to college and we're relocating. So where is the extra coming from? So that desire to have it, that would be nice, is not a would be nice anymore. It became a no, this is needed. Like, we need this. It's not a, oh yeah, if we had it, it would be great. Like, yes, I still have a full-time job, but I don't desire to work this full-time job anymore. This full-time job gives me anxiety. I get anxiety on Monday mornings and I don't want anxiety anymore. Like, I don't want anxiety waking up in the morning. And so it becomes a different level of, you know what? This has to work. It has to work because I'm not designed to work anybody's 9 to 5. If I have to put on regular clothes and go out to somebody's office and work, I am probably going to have a panic attack at this point in my life. I'm 40, about to be 42 years old, and I don't desire to work for anybody until I'm 65. I don't. Like, I need to control my time. Like, that is it became non-negotiable for me. And whatever it was that clicked in me this year is I was having conversations with my husband, and even with my husband has never been designed to work anybody's job, like, period. He's the real entrepreneur of the family. Like, he'll start a business from a thought, like, tomorrow. And just because he doesn't desire to work for anybody. And I'm like, you know what? This is our year that we're going to have to get a financial planner because this is the year. Like, this is the year where we have to figure out where to send, how we pay our taxes quarterly, and how do we diversify the income, because that's how it's coming in. So it became where I became hungry enough where it's like, forget it. I'm just going to call. Like, I'm going to call. I'm not relying on a cart. Are you ready or not? I don't want to send you a cart. Like, no, I don't want to do that because I need to make sure, one, this closes because I set a goal to close this today. So I need to make sure that happens. So yes, it's sending however many messages it takes to make that happen. It's getting on the phone and talking to people. Is it somebody that, you know what? Yes, they were supposed to be a customer, but I can see them being a business partner. So now you was getting ready to spend $100 on this package. What about you add another 50 and it become a business opportunity for you now, and you're going to get more for your money. Right? Like, so I think it's really thinking back, like, to why does this business have to work for you? Like, why does it have to work? And what is it going to take for you to be in a position that it's working because you're making sure that it works? It's not by chance. It's because you put in the work. You know, they say faith without, I have faith. I have faith it's going to work, but you're not working. Like, you're sending the messages, but what are you doing to ensure that the box closes? What are you doing to ensure that your 4-in-1 closes? You know, and even to the point where, and y'all know, I'm a person that I'll work social media like it's nobody's business. I've even put in starting April, because I knew March was kind of shot, where I'm gonna have to start doing in-person events. Like, what do I need to do? Like, I need to start having rap parties in person. How can I tap into my community a little bit? Now, that's something that is way outside my comfort zone because that's not what I do. So it's now you got to be uncomfortable. In order for me to live a life of comfort and luxury, guess what? I got to get uncomfortable. And so I know what's going to make me uncomfortable. And that's going to push me so far because I don't do that. Like, that's not what I do on a normal basis. But normal is not going to get me to greatness. Normal is not going to get me to triple diamond by the summertime. Like it's just not. And that's the goal. So if that's the goal and the needle is not moving the way I need it to move, then I know that I have to do some things that are a little bit different.
Yes, Stephanie. Something you said about, you know, the last thing you were talking about how you're getting uncomfortable, it goes back to kind of what Rachel was saying on Newbie Circle. It's gonna cost you something. Like the things that you want or the goals that you have, they're going to cost you something. And you have to be okay with the price that you would pay in order to get what it is that you desire. But it only comes from you having that strong why, you know, the having that reason to fight. And being that's what makes you okay with the sacrifice and the cost that you have to pay in order to get what you want. And so for me, where the hunger comes from, like Stephanie said, I didn't like the deposits that I was getting. In the deposits that I was getting was not going to nowhere was it going to allow me to reach what it is that I kept saying that I wanted. It was not going to put me in a position to buy a house. It was not going to put me in a position to actually be able to live. We talking about living, wasn't putting me in a position to be able to do that. And so another thing happened, you know, my mom, she got sick again, not with cancer, but with another illness. And so I was talking to Rachel about it, and she, you know, was asking me if I was okay and what was I feeling in behind it, like what was the fear in behind it. One, it's only me and my mom. I don't have any siblings. I'm trying not to cry, y'all. Don't have any siblings. I do not know my my father. So it's just me and her. And so I was telling Rachel, I was like, you know, I still feel like I'm not in a position, well, what I'm doing here, I still feel like I'm not in a position to take care of myself, like, or even be in a position to have an overflow to help her again. Like I'm back in this space to where I feel like I don't have an overflow to help her again. And so that's where the hunger is coming from. Like they say, if your why don't make you cry, it's not big enough. And I'm telling y'all, like, this gotta work. I'm not employable. I am my own boss. Like I'm a boss, and I don't do well with having another boss. I'm my own boss. And so I can have a partner, but I don't do well with bosses. And so yeah, I have to make this work. There's no other option. Like this is my only option. And so that's where the hunger is coming from. All my bonuses are named. All of my paychecks have a place to go, whether it's for the savings for my house or because I want to build a house. Like that was even me being real with myself. Like stop shortchanging yourself. You talking about, yeah, you want to buy a house because you're looking at your circumstances, you're looking at what's now and putting a cap on yourself and putting a cap on God. You really want to build a house. So say you want to build a house and stop minimizing, stop shrinking. One thing that COVID made okay was we used to say you either shrink your dreams to match your account. What was it? Shrink your dreams to match your bank account or something like that. But anyway, so we wasn't doing anything. We wasn't going out. We wasn't traveling. We wasn't doing nothing. So it gave me an excuse to shrink my dreams down to match my bank account instead of growing my bank account to match my dreams because I wasn't doing anything. And so, yeah, it's just, I want better. I want more. I want to feel like I am able to take care of myself. And I want to feel like I'm in a place to stand on my own 2 feet. And because I don't feel like that right now, because of what I was seeing, it just has to go to the next level. I just had to go to the next level. I had to get hungry. Like I had to really realize that I was hungry, but I wasn't looking at my situation in the face. I wasn't looking at it. And one of the things that being engulfed in social media and just running a business, I'm always looking at, oh, what's coming, and not and allowing it to a cloud about what's right now. Like, yes, that's coming. Yep, it's coming. But what are you dealing with right now? And what do you need right now in this moment so that you can work in the way that you need to work? And so That's where my hunger comes from. That's why I get up and I fight every single day. So
I'll
Hey,
share. I
you
have
guys.
wrote. Oh, go
Oops,
ahead.
go ahead, Keisha.
I'll just share this one line and I'm gonna go. I have wrote down a while back on journal or something. What's the point of having a business with a day job impact? And what that meant to me was usually like when I was in a day job, for the most part, it impacted me. It was enough money just for me. Sometimes it was enough for just for me. No, just for me. It was me. And why do I have this business if I'm not going to make an income, if my income is not going to consistently be more than I can ever do in a day job? If the things that I'm able to do with my time is not more than I can do when I had a day job. And as I was looking at my dream boards, I said, when is there going to be an evolution in my dream board? Is the dreams from last year still the dreams from this year? It's the dreams from last year and the year before. It's fun to make a dream board, right? But eventually some of those things that are there, I need to start seeing happen. Those dreams need to become a reality, right? So that I can begin to dream bigger. And so I was saying to myself, it's been great having this high level of thinking, this high level of dreaming. But when does this dreamer become this person of real life? When do you really start to do some of these things? When are the cares that you had, when do those start to evolve? And what I mean by that is I was caring about that last year or wondering how I was going to do that last year. Why am I wondering about that this year? You know what I mean? And so if my grocery budget hasn't grown, like why am I still checking my account to see if I can get everything that I need for groceries? Why am I not paying gymnastics tuition by the year? You know what I mean? Just little small things that were happening in my life where I'm like, okay, why is this still a thought? Why is this just not something that I'm just naturally emerging into? And so one thing that was said in one of my one-to-ones was, don't forget what you've done. As you're going forward, don't forget what you've done. And so I had to awaken myself and say, man, there were a lot of things that I did to get to the point that I am. So I'm going to remember what I've done, but then I have to remember all the things that I said that I was going to happen. How many years have I said I'm going to be top 150? You know what I mean? How many times have I said this or that or whatever? And then I had to allow myself to feel that feeling of continuously telling myself no to things that I know God has already released the yes. It's just waiting for me to bridge the gap between where I am now and where I'm going. And so just that hunger came from just as I was looking at my dream board and I was looking at things, I was like, where's the evolution? There are more things that I should be checking off here. It's not that I'm not equipped. It's not that I'm not in the place where I can do these things. There's the space. The space is just me. God ain't not released it. It's none of those things. You know what I mean? And so I was looking at that board and saying, why is this still there? Why that's still there? I don't want that to still be there. I want it to be something fresh, something new. Not that I can't make something fresh and new. I want it to be something fresh and new because I've made happen what I've written down. And so just reminding myself every day why I came here. And if I've gotten the first thing that's evolved, now it's time to evolve to something new and just remembering that every day. And so my business is not supposed to make a day job impact. It's supposed to be bigger than me. I know God wants me to be a blessing. And so my blessings got to get bigger, right? So it can be beyond me.
Robin, before you go, I want to reply to what Keisha said. So thanks for sharing that. So here's the thing, because I can just think about, when you come into this business, like here, let's do this. Drop a 1 in the comments if you have a rank that you just want to see in the business, like a rank that you desire to see. Okay. Drop a 2 in the comments if you want to be in the top, like if you want to be a top income earner, right? Drop a 3 if you have like a car dream, like there's a car that you desire to have. Okay. Here's the thing, I'm listening to Keisha talk, and one of the biggest things about being a top income earner is why. I mean, it all boils down to why. Why do you want to see the rank? And I mean, like just being real specific, like not just, the income. Well, then say the income. Why do you want the rank? You know what I mean? So you have to be really specific in terms of why you want stuff. And this is why I challenge you guys to do what do you want and why? Because a lot of times when we come into this business, and it's the same thing as what Eric Thomas was saying, You want it because it's on the gram and it look nice. And I ain't even trying to be shady because I've been there. I remember in 2018, I stripped myself. Why? Because I was literally a magazine mannequin person. It's normal. Society sets you up for it. You go into the store. Oh, that's cute on a mannequin. Let me see how that look on me. Oh, that's nice. Let me see how that, you don't even, it's just because it looked nice on them. So it's like, oh, that would be nice for me too. Because you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to create and to become who it is that you're supposed to be. And so why do you want to be a top income earner? Why? Just be honest. And here's the thing, like, don't be embarrassed to be honest. You can say, because I like achievement. I like recognition. I strive for it. I like to accomplish things. I like to set a challenge and reach it. Like, why do you want it? Why do you want it? When I think about Black Diamond, I know why I want it on so many different layers and levels, where I can say, like, this is a goal of mine. Like, this is something that truly pushes me to get up and work every single day. And then can we just normalize that people need money? Like, you're never going to be to the point where you don't need money. Period. Can we just be clear? Everybody needs money. Cami needs money. She's just set herself up in a place where she don't have her work, what she does, her passion drives her income. She's just set it up like that. So she doesn't have to focus about her finances in that way. Does she have financial conversations? 100% with her banker, with her financial advisor, because she has created this residual income that comes into her house. Into her household, into her home, whatever, in many different ways. So I just felt it. I felt it. It's like, when you work in these type of businesses, especially in the Black culture, I ain't even just gonna stunt. Like, it's like, well, I don't need that. Yes, you do. Everybody needs extra income, period. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money you got, because extra income unlocks more doors. That's what it does. Okay, what kind of life do you want to live? That's the real question here. It's not how much, like, do you need extra income? It's what kind of life do you want to live? I want to live a life where all my kids are in private school. I want to live a life where I can have a house cleaner. I want to live a life where I can have my bills on auto pay, or I can be the person that pays tuition up front. That's the life I want to live. I don't want to make monthly payments. I don't want to do that. So that's the real question. It's not, do you need extra income? So start, like, when you're talking to other people, it's like, well, do you need extra income? Yes, they need extra income. Don't even ask that. What kind of life do you want to live? How can I help you create a life that you desire? Because that's ultimately what it is. Think about it from the bottom. I think about when I first started as a single mom. What kind of life was I living? Well, not when I first started. Let me go back before I started the business. Before I started the business, I was living a life in college where student loans paid my bills. My refund paid my bills. That was the life that I lived. Then there was a point where, I didn't really do WIC, but my TANF or my food stamps, that's how I ate, And what did that do? It actually taught me that I could spend $300 a month on food for me and my son, which was so stupid because then I didn't know how to budget food. So when I'm getting out here with my real money, I'm like, now what we eating? Like noodles and sandwiches, because I ain't all that money that I had before. It didn't teach me the life that I truly could live. It was fake. It was fabricated. And so this is the kind of people that we are talking to. Maybe, maybe not, but most likely, yes. They have been conditioned. And I even want to just go back to, hold on one second. Hey, I want to go back to what Stephanie said during our leadership call on Saturday. And I had talked to my grandma about it, and it just like opened up like just a whole conversation between my grandma and I. But just take it with a grain of salt. Like, it just is what it is, especially if we were watching this recording later. Like, at the end of the day, and there are always going to be outliers, but I'm going to speak in generalization. White people came to America for opportunity, period. Okay. They came to America for their American dream. Okay. Black people didn't come here for that. We were brought here. There was no dream. It was not a choice 9 times out of 10. Okay. So here we are, they are with the foundation. Their ancestors came here literally to create a life. Our ancestors were brought here to take our life. right? To be told what it is to do with life. And so then we're sitting here in a place where now we're trying to figure things out, where they've already had it figured out for generations because that's why they came. And so even just having a conversation with my grandma and even listen to Eric Thomas, like we don't even know 2-3 decades back what our family even looked like. Not decades, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Generations back. We don't know. We have no idea. Some of y'all can't even go back 4 generations. Me, I can't. And if I could, they didn't talk. It was secretive. So we have no idea what in the world we're looking at. So here we are trying to create something. And so like, if we can just be completely honest when it comes to our culture, there is too much stuff that we don't know and we're not willing to be humble enough to figure it out. You know, I was talking to my grandma and she's like, well, you know, and excuse my French, but I'm just going to say it, you know, if a person was a house nigga, they may have gotten more information if they was listening. And this is just real talk. Like this is real talk. If they was in the house, they may have gotten more information about how to live life and actually build wealth if they were listening. Where was your family? Were they in the house or was they out in the, because I mean, I know a certain generation was in the field. My great-great-grandma, she picked cotton. So she was in the field. She wasn't in the house. And this is stuff that we don't like. We should act like it, you know, yes, financial freedom. Like we don't know nothing about no financial freedom. And sometimes we're not really willing to dig through the roots and the generational things. My mom has 6 figures in student loans. So do I. Why? Because she didn't know no better. We was just trying to get this American dream that we never even knew what it was. We trying to create it. We don't have the foundational background. And so when you're looking at it like that and you're going out here like, and this is why our dreams and goals are so fabricated, which is why, you know, we're talking about this in our series. They're fabricated. We have literally no idea what it is, like what it takes to get to what we really desire. And then what happens with us because of pride, and this is why we cast this down when we pray for it, that pride, when you finally hit a certain rank, like even for myself, Ambassador Diamond, oh, okay, she should know it all. No, she shouldn't, because I still have roots. And for you to even think something like that is bogus. I don't start at the same place that they start. My parents didn't pay, and I'm not saying this is generalized, I'm saying it's generalized. I didn't have parents who made a whatever it's called, whatever, account for college, 529A, I know that. My parents didn't do that. Well, actually she did, but it was only a little bit in there, just enough to pay for my books. We don't have the same start. And so when we're having these conversations and talking to people and we're thinking about our goals, yeah, we want a car. What you talking about? We was in the station wagon with the seats falling off. Like, I want a car. Y'all don't, anybody, grandparents had a station wagon? Y'all, I'm talking about the middle came down. You know, I used to lay down, think I was on, wipe me down, lay down in the bed. Grandma, can I lay down? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was our luxury. So yeah, we want a car, but that's literally your flesh just desiring something that you really don't need. What you need is a bank account with 10 stacks in it. What you need is to learn how to invest your money. What you need, it's totally different. But if people aren't willing to say these things, you'll never get there, because it'd be like, yes, Royce. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Do you know how much that costs? Like how much your kids got in their bank account? Like that's ridiculous. That's not even cute. Chanel bag, like how is it 5,000 in each of your kids' savings accounts? Because if not, Chanel bag it's a no for me. It's a no. So if you can go out and buy something and you don't have that in the savings account for your kids, that makes no sense whatsoever. And so what do you get up? Like, what is your why? And going back full circle back to what Keisha said. So being in the top 150, when I thought about that, me being in the top, and even now, my striving to have 10 people in the top 150, it's because I understand that people will be at an income where I desire people to see incomes that they never could imagine. That's number one. Because I remember when I opened up my first check as a triple diamond, and I was like, by doing what? Like everybody can do this. Like no college experience needed. All you have to do is have grit and determination, and that's it. Resilience and consistency. Grit and determination, resilience and consistency. It's brave, patient, and consistent. Here's the thing. How often during your week are you truly like, do you have vigor? Like do you go after your goals with vigor? Every single time I come in there, what I say, Zaire's bonus, that gives me vigor. That's my son. Like that some people, it ain't their kids. They be out here on TikTok, like, F them kids, okay? Like, and thinking that stuff cute. That's not cute, okay? It's not cute at all. I remember going to church and somebody was like, my broke bestie, like, why would you speak that over your kid's life? That don't even make sense. That's so culturally not cute. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. Life and death is in the power of your tongue. Like, don't do that. Even with the F them kids, like, why would you even say that? Anyways, Lord, I was like, that's not funny. Like, all these people are here like, ha ha, like, that's not funny at all. Because a lot of y'all felt like that. You felt that. And now you saying it to your kids. That is the sidebar. Anyways, going back to the top 150, like, at the end of the day, why do you want to help people change their lives? What is it inside of you? Because that's what it all boils down to. What is it that you don't like, or you didn't like, or that this business gave you the opportunity to see, so that you wanted that to extend to other people beyond you? But are you humble enough to say, listen, I don't have it all figured out, but I know this is a great opportunity over here. And if I can make this, and look at me, girl, I'm jacked up. Yeah, got all the things going on in my life. But if I can do this, or if they can do it, if you haven't did it yet, right? So if Rachel can do it, if looking at the top income earners, like, if they can do it, then so can I. We can do this. We can have that freedom, and I can show people how to get free. And I love the fact, personal development plan with the compensation attached. Like, we love the fact that, and I'm gonna go back to what Brittany said. Brittany, you said, it's either shrink, grow your income, or shrink your goals or your dreams. You shrink your goals, shrink your dreams, or grow your income. And that's it. When you grow your income, your dreams get bigger. You allow your dreams to get bigger. You allow them to. I can say, and if somebody made me feel some type of way about my dreams, they gotta go. And this is why I talk about hashtag your circle matters. I want to take my kids to, and eventually it can go to every year, Jesus, but I want to take my kids to Disney every other year with a personal tour for about 3 days, 4 days. Yeah. And that costs a lot of money, but I want to do it for my kids. That's the thing I desire. And I can want that. But in order to want that, I also have to make sure I'm taking care of everything else. So it goes back to what Stephanie said. I'm not pulling from my bills to pay Disney. I'm not doing that. I need to create that income. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. The things that we've become acclimated to, just normal things, like people saying rent. I was used to people saying rent. Okay, then I became used to people saying mortgage. And now I want to be used to nothing because it's paid off. When you get into different circles, you think different, and it levels you up to start thinking different. And so when you're going out to build, and it's like, well, can I relate that down to one customer? Yes. It's one step at a time. It's this bonus, it's that bonus. It's you actually committing to things and doing it. Do you know what belief that builds inside of you when you say you're going to do something? Instead of saying, like, shout out to Miss Yania, and I'm gonna be quiet because let me let somebody else go. But shout out to Miss Yania when she said she was finishing that thing, and baby, she waited till the Lord waited, but she kept working. Okay. And so maybe God wanted to see, like, okay, how committed are you to this? And at the umpteenth hour, God was like, there you go. But sometimes it'd be like, well, okay, I'm gonna clock out. I didn't reach my goals. Like, I'm trying again next week. Boo, that's you all the time. You always waiting for next week. Instead of going above and beyond and seeing it through the end. Man, people can feel that hunger. They can feel the direction, and they want to be attached to people who are hungry like that. I'm hungry to get this weight off. Gracefully. Because I'm going to live my life. Because I'm going to live. You know what I'm saying? If I want some ice cream, I'm going to have it. Praise the Lord for fat fighters. I ain't going to say yes all the time, but I'm going to do what I want to do. And that's the part of being an entrepreneur. I could suffer the consequences. And that's the thing. Are you willing to suffer the consequences? Period. All right.
Oh, I've
Can I
been
just
wanting to
say
chime in.
something?
Oh, go ahead. Oh, okay. I'll go real quick as I can be. Rachel, you're just really right there. I mean, really, really right there with me. Thank you so much, everybody. I want to appreciate everybody who has been just giving us intentionality. That's what I hear right now is just intentionality. I do feel like, although I do the work, I'm not as intentional as I thought I was. As I'm hearing everybody doing what they're doing, I'm like, oh, I got to get really real with intentionality. Yeah, my goals are not like, the normal goals that everybody has. Yeah, we need a car. Yeah, we need this, we need that. But my goals have always been to just be attached to impact on people's lives. Like I learned how to lose weight because I'm a dancer and I just love to dance. Like that is my favorite thing to do. I worship. And so God delivered me, out of porn and I gave my gift of dance to him. And so when I couldn't dance like I wanted to, I was like, bet that all my fat is coming off. So I really took it serious and I got intentional about it, and this was before It Works. And so but now that I'm with It Works, and it's funny because God came after me for like 7 years before I even got into the business. Like twice. Twice he came to me. One with the lady who was, it was on Independence Day of all days. And she came to me and she was talking about the wrap. And I was so insecure about my belly because I have 4 kids. I was so insecure. So when she came to me, I was like, no. I'm like, I'm not trying to hear that right now. And then my husband for sure was like, no, I'm not having you in a multi-marketing business. That's a pyramid scheme, blah, blah, blah. So then the second time it was at a graduation and I was just like, no, I'm like, don't, I'm already in another business, but that business did not work out. It's a great business. It's got great products, but this was where I was supposed to be. So the third time when they came to me, it was because somebody had said yes to this business and she don't say yes to anything. So I was like, if she said yes to this business, then there's something to this business. Little did I know that it was Christian. I remember I came to the green carpet and Brittany was sitting next to me and that was my upline, her sister. And so she's sitting next to me and they're like, we're going to worship. And I was like, worship who? Worship what? What are we worshiping? And then they were like, oh, this is a Christian faith-based business. And I was like, wow, like God, you really wanted me here. So my goals, honestly, go way beyond. Like I'm a big dreamer. I've always dreamed big since I was young. Okay. So like when I hear stuff, it's like my bank account needs to come up to my dreams. It's just gotta come up to my dreams because I dream so big. But yesterday, and I want to share this with you guys, my sisters are heavy hitters. Like both of them are heavy hitters when it comes to selling. My younger sister has 6 figures, but she works 12 hours a day. And so we were sitting on the phone and she's like, Jillian, why don't you just get yourself a regular job, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, because just over broke ain't working for me. And so I was like, no. And I said, besides that, and all of a sudden it just came out of my mouth like floodgates. It was like, because I'm going on a $10,000 run, girlfriend. And I was like, and every time I bring a foreigner friend together, I said, I get 150. And then when they do that and I help them do that, that gets 350. So that's 500. I said, I want to do that 3 times. So that's 1,500. I said, if I do that 3 times and I have these 3 tiers, I said, guess what? I get a 2,500 bonus. That's just bonus. That is not my compensation plan. That is not my, hello. That is not my that's not my extra money, my sample cash. That's not none of that. I said, but when I open up this next level, when I get to diamond, I said I can go ahead and get these like cabs. I know we call them something else today, but cabs. And so my sister just sat there for that couple of seconds of me explaining that. She just sat there going like, I need to do that. Like 12 hours a day, I can't cut it. And I was like, yeah. And I said, and if I really get so focused, I said, I can do this thing. And I said, and I won't have to spend that kind of hours doing this. And she was like, I need to do that. Second sister, okay? We're on the phone talking, and she's telling me how she had to pay for her nice refrigerator now that she regrets paying for because the heater went out. And she's like, and I'm glad that my husband has a job, but man, he's, not living at home right now just for that job. And, all these things that are happening that are very personal to her. And I just sat there going like, Rena, I've been wanting you in this business. And my sister, I love her, but she will come for you if you treat me some kind of way. And so, but my sister was like looking at me, and she's just like, not right now. She said, but I do watch you, and I do, and I just sat there listening to her because she was like, I do watch you, and I do think every day that I see you, can I do that too? And I was like, Lord, I've been sitting on this for 3 years, and my sisters could have been in this game. Come on, Jillian, what's going on with you? This is the third thing I have to say. My daughter last month, we were listening to the song for Harriet, the like Harriet Tubman story from like 2019, that movie. And that song just started getting to me because I started crying because um I go to prepare a place for you. If you know that song at the end when it says that, and Jesus kept telling me, prepare the way, Jillian, prepare the way. And I know that God was speaking through that song in a way that I just didn't understand. So then I watched the movie, and she was like, I thought that I was coming back from my husband. In reality, I was coming back to draw people out of slavery. And I understand, like, I'm not black. I don't know if I had slaves because, there was black and other colors that were slaves too. I don't know my ancestry, so I don't know if some of my ancestors were slaves. But I do know that, like, this is modern day slavery to be just over broke. Like, this is modern day slavery to be going to school for an education and can't even pay for your loans. Like, what is that? And I graduated. I was the first graduate in my whole family, so it's extra special for me. And it hurt really bad that only one person came to my graduation. Yet I had, six, six, tickets. Daddy didn't come, stepdaddy didn't come, sisters didn't come, brother didn't come, nobody came, and it's because, for obvious reasons, maybe they felt insecure, but I don't know, maybe they were busy, but that really got to me. The last thing that I wanted to say was Thomas said something today, really, he said, when, finish what you start and do it with excellence. And when I was a part of a program that, that they always talked about it. They were like in a spirit of excellence, in a spirit of excellence, in a spirit of excellence. And so, that was ingrained in us. And I said, Jillian, how much are you doing in excellence? What is it that you need to do and get into excellence with? Because I'm a numbers type of person. When I started Zumba 2013, I was a numbers person. I was like, listen, if I could get 100 people in here at $5 and just $5, that's $500. If I could do that 4 times a week, guess what? That's like 2,000. So that's my brain thinking on 10. And
Yes.
so then I just sit there with this, and I started writing down, like, because he said, what do you want? And I said, I got to write this thing down, and I got to make it plain again and again and again. But I got to get more and more and more and more and more specific. So that's it. That's all I got to
Yes,
say.
ma'am. Thank you, Jillian, girl. Thank you. Okay, Kizzy, come on. I'm gonna take you and then we're gonna pray it out. Write the vision, make it plain. Yes, Jillian.
That's okay. I'll wait. I'll share later.
Girl, come on. We got 1 minute. Come on.
Well, real quick, I just wanted to say that what Rachel was saying about what's your deeper why, and like I just wanted to share mine. My husband and I both were police officers, and we were bringing in probably around $150,000 a year, and we couldn't figure out how we were living paycheck to paycheck, but we were living in a rent house, and we have kids, and yeah, he paid child support for some of his kids and all that, but we was making $150,000 from our jobs, not our retirement income from the military. And we just could not figure it out. right? And so we were like in a place to where we could not breathe, like so bad that felt like we were suffocating, like there was like a weight on my chest all the time trying to figure it out. Well, I figured it out, and it was because we wasn't giving the way that we should have been giving, right? We was receiving, but we were not giving. But when we started to give, I tell you, the floodgates of heaven opened up so much more for us. And even to the point to where we wasn't making 150,000 anymore from our jobs because we left those jobs. And so I know that there is a blessing in your giving. And like you said, faith without works is dead. You can have the faith, but without faith, it's impossible to please God. But you also have to do the work behind it. That's all, y'all.
Yes, Kizzy, that is so good. Like, listen, he's not gonna keep giving you stuff to just be a hoarder or and not be a reservoir and let it flow through you. So
Real quick, I think Robin had something because I had cut her off beforehand and she didn't go. So
okay.
I turned her camera on.
Robin, ROBIN.
Yeah.
You know what? I wasn't even, I'm over here crying. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the wrong things. But you know what? I didn't even have nothing. I don't think today was just my listening day. One thing that has been working for me, because I just been working on getting out some good content and also messaging people and doing things that do make me uncomfortable, because calling people makes me very uncomfortable. But I'm just trying to do all those things that scare me. And I honestly said I was going to do that for 2022, not just for the business, but just in my everyday life, doing things that flat out just scare me, because I'm so bold. And this is like, girl, how you getting scared? You talk so good. You can talk to people. You can interact with people, but then I want to turn into a little shrimp. So no more shrimping, no more wimping out. I'm going to just keep swimming and doing all those things that scare me. But that's all, because I was over here crying, my bad.
Robin, you a mess. But yes, get bold. That's a part of it. Be bold, be brave, be brave, be patient, be consistent. But being bold is a part of being brave. And so, yes, well, I'm about to pray. I'm cracking up, Lydia. I can't take you. Okay, I'm about to pray us out. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We just adore you. We're so honored to be called by you, Lord. We just ask that you continue to put us in a position, or just continue to give us the will, the fight, the vigor to break this poverty mindset, because poverty is more so of a mindset than something that we actually are. And so allow us to stay in a position to continue to elevate our mind, continue to grow and become the people you've called us to become, in order to do the things that you've called us to, because it's not a fact of if we can have it, it's a fact of if we can handle it. And so continue to give us the fight to put ourselves in a position to handle the gifts and the blessings and the call that you have for us. I just ask that you give everybody who showed up this morning double for their trouble. Bless all of the seeds that were planted. Allow them to fall on fertile soil, Lord. Just continue to encourage our hearts and remind us every single day that you are walking along beside us. You're going before us. You are coming behind us. You're right beside us. And so we have nothing to fear, because you have conquered it all and everything is yours. And so there's nothing that you lack. And so because you are abundant, and you're magnificent, and you're just so wonderful, that means that we are the same, because we are made in your image, Lord. And so just allow us to hang on to that as we go throughout the week, as we go throughout the month, the year, and really just fight for the things that you've placed on our heart, Lord, because we know as we go for what you desire for us, we will be taken care of, as well as we'll be in a position to take care of your people. And we know that that's what it's all about. So we do everything unto you. We do everything for the glory of your name and to magnify your kingdom. And we pray everything, all of these asks, all of these blessings, all of these wishes, we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen. All right, guys, have a great week.